How will Bruce cope with life after appearing to have been killed? The issue starts with Thomas approaching a gas station with a gun. At the same gas station, a mother and a daughter are having a conversation to pick out something healthy. As Sandra goes inside, she responds with an annoyed remark. While grabbing drinks, she notices a man in a hat staring at her. He only greets her with a simple, "Excuse me," which makes her feel uneasy. She notices he's reading a newspaper about the Hulk when suddenly, Thomas walks in, demanding money from the cashier. Sandra witnesses this and drops her drink in shock. Spooked, Thomas accidentally shoots Sandra and the man in the green hat. He then turns around and shoots the cashier before taking the money. Sandra's mom hears the gunshots and sees Thomas fleeing the scene. The police arrive and identify both the cashier and Sandra, but they have no leads on the man in the green hat. Meanwhile, at the morgue, the mysterious man transforms into the Hulk. He is Bruce Banner. We cut to Thomas with the gang who was with them because he owes them money. As Thomas tries to explain what happened, he gets interrupted. The gang members say they don't care about his story. They just want their money and send him off to get more. Suddenly, they hear a loud bang, which they initially think is a bomb. One of their men comes in terrified, claiming that there's a devil. Then, Hulk's massive arms burst through the wall. Thomas tries to escape but drops his keys. As he notices the silence and turns around, he sees the Hulk. He desperately tries to talk his way out of the situation, claiming he's not a bad guy, but the Hulk simply smiles in response. The next morning, the police are at the scene surveying the destruction. Thomas is in the hospital, clinging to life. A detective speaks with a reporter, informing her that they've identified the killer from the gas station. It was Thomas. He has even confessed that the person who attacked him was big and green. The reporter is shocked and exclaims that it can't be true because that person is dead. They then realize that the Hulk can't die. Only Bruce can. We cut to Bruce staring at himself in the mirror. He questions, "I'm not a bad guy, am I?" Bruce is having a hard time coming to terms with the fact that he absorbed a tremendous amount of gamma radiation. The voice in his head won't go away, and as he screams, he wakes up on a bus. Unsure if he said anything out loud, he shrugs it off since there aren't many people on board. He gets off the bus and walks to a restaurant to have a meal, enjoying every bite. After finishing, he notices a newspaper that says the Hulk is alive, and he realizes he needs to watch his back. Later, at a bar, Bruce hears about a boy who has passed away. Feeling that something is wrong, he decides to visit the boy's tomb. Suddenly, he detects gamma radiation nearby and rushes to make a call. However, they don't accept random calls, so he reluctantly states his name knowing he has to stay discreet. Bruce then leaves and finds a cave filled with gamma radiation, where he discovers Dr. Fry full of gamma radiation. Dr. Fry attacks Bruce, which prompts the Hulk to emerge and confront him about his son. Dr. Fry explains that he lost his wife and couldn't cope with the loss, so he began experimenting with gamma radiation to escape death. He experimented on himself first and achieved remarkable results. Unfortunately, when he decided to give some gamma radiation to his son, the results were catastrophic, leading to the boy's death. The Hulk then reveals that the boy is emitting gamma rays which can harm those who come near him. Enraged, the Hulk buries Dr. Fry underground. Jackie the reporter makes her way to South Dakota. She's there to meet a police officer to get his account of the events on Mercer Avenue. The officer replies, "I've got a story for you," and then begins his tale. They received a call about a priest being held hostage with a gun. When he arrived at the scene, he noticed a juvenile delinquent with gamma ray powers who then shoots at the officers with gamma blasts through his fingers. The priest is then interviewed about his experience and describes the attacker of something out of a horror movie. His skin is green and greasy, and he emits an awful smell. He then proceeds to describe his encounter. As the delinquent approaches the priest is shocked and speechless. The delinquent, furious, cries out that his friend needs an exorcism, becoming increasingly desperate for help. In a dramatic moment, the Hulk arrives and breaks the delinquent's hand to try to disable his ability to use the gamma blast. However, this only makes the delinquent angrier, and he retaliates with a gamma blast that leaves a gaping wound in the Hulk's chest. The priest, horrified, believes the Hulk is done for, but to everyone's shock, the Hulk regenerates his wound. The delinquent, now terrified, refers to the Hulk as the one below all, and the devil. The reason he says this is that he previously had an encounter with something unknown that he refers to as the One Below All, or the Green Door. Could a much bigger force be at play? Back in the present, Jackie is at home reflecting on the story she heard. Suddenly, she receives a call from Walter Lankowski. He knows that Jackie is the only person tracking Bruce besides him and wants to collaborate to find him. As he speaks, the reflection of Sasquatch can be seen. Comment for the next part.